What's up, family? I hope all is well. I hope all is well. I'm trying to gather myself. I overslept. My son came in there, woke me up. When he woke me up, I was supposed to already be awake. So with that being said, the message that I was supposed to give tonight, last night was understanding the love of God. Tonight was supposed to be experiencing the love of God, right? And because I'm running behind, I can't paint the picture scripturally without His Word. So I'm not gonna have time to, because tonight we were supposed to read Romans chapter 8 together, as we all were supposed to read that every single day. How many of y'all did it? That's what I'm talking about, man. It's all good though. That's why I was supposed to read it together, as one, and then go from there. But it's all good. I'll do it tomorrow sometime, because tomorrow is supposed to be part 2 of getting to know the love of God anyway. So I'm going to just put the message that was for today and for tomorrow, and just make it one solid message. Just make it one solid message. So I hope you guys will be in attendance for that tomorrow. If you are not subscribed, then go ahead and do so you can receive that notification, as well as receive notifications for everything that I release. Right now, I'm in a season of my life to where my personal experience as it relates to trying to live up to someone else's standards and it not being good enough, me wanting to be accepted, and like just I don't know where it's coming from, but it's just coming out of me left and right. So the message is that around it, if you're struggling with confidence, if you're struggling with wanting to be accepted, being rejected, trying to live up to someone else's standards, being a slave to their expectations of you, all those different things. I try to upload those every day around like 5 or 6, Monday through Saturday. Sometimes I might just feel in my spirit and then, record something based on what I'm going through at the time around that, throughout the day. But I have one coming. Okay, matter of fact, how about I ask you guys? So every day I try to give a word. You ever heard somebody say, "Give me a word, brother? Give me a word"? Every day I try to give a word based on my personal experience. It could be something that I'm going through at the time that I believe that could help you in the season of life that you're going through or what you're struggling with. What would be a good time for you guys to receive that message? I try to do it again like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. That way it's like as soon as you wake up you get a fresh word, and like that's something that you can hold on to for the day, and go kill your day and operate in your fullness, opposed to looking at you as how inadequate you may be or insufficient you may be, like, because we can't operate with that spirit. So if you prefer a time, what would be a good time for you? If it doesn't matter, I'll just continue doing it about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Right now, though, How you doing, brother? And everyone else in here, how y'all doing? So I was supposed to last night. I did a message on understanding the love of God. Tonight I was supposed to do experiencing the love of God, but I overslept. My son woke me up because I laid down about 3 something. Forgot to set. Well, I passed out before I set my alarm, so he came in and woke me up, asked me if I was going to work, and that was like at 9:25, and I was supposed to be at work by then. So I'm not going to do the experiencing the love of God. I'm doing a series on getting to know the love of God, and part 2 is tomorrow. So what I'm going to do, the message that I was supposed to give today, because I got to do it. I can't do it without being, using His Word, and I don't have time to make it to work and then just go through that real quick. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tie in the message I was going to give today, because tomorrow is supposed to be centered around His mercy, helping us see His mercy on us, and that comes from a place of His love, right? So I'm just going to make just one solid message tomorrow of the 2, experiencing His love, His mercy, right? So yeah, that's what we're going to do. But what He did want me to do with this check-in that we have going on right now is to take it in a direction of purpose. He wants you to know that when it comes to the purpose He created you for, you're going to enjoy, you're going to love what you are purposed to do. So now we have to ask ourselves, based on our jobs, do we love what we do every day? If we don't love what we do every day at work, obviously that job is going to be temporary. I'm not telling you to leave your job now, regardless of how much money that job is paying, regardless of the lifestyle that you created because of this job or with the help of this job. If you do not love what you do apart from money, based on what you do, does it fulfill you? Every single day, do you have a sense of fulfillment? Do you enjoy and look forward to going to work most of the time? Or do you wake up dread going to work? If you wake up dread going to work, it's a burden going to that job. Like it pulls something out of you, opposed to adding something to you. And you don't have a sense of fulfillment, that job is temporary. Because what God has purposed each and every one of us to do, we're going to love it. In fact, we will do it for free. So if that's what your job look like, it seems like it takes from you, it drains you, like it's a possibility that job is temporary. However, unless you change your mindset and your perspective to see the job differently, the things that you complain about, because we have to understand when we are working at our jobs, we are there for a reason. It is never solely about us. It is never based on only the amount of money that we're making, especially if it has nothing to do with pouring it back into the kingdom of God. So God places us where He needs us every step of the way, every season of our lives. He places us where He needs us. So if you are in a season of your life where it's abundant, or it's like everything is like, it seems like it's too good to be true, it's perfect, God placed you there. Understand though that is temporary. It's highs and lows in life. The mountaintop, the valley. It's just what it is, because He's taking us somewhere. So if you're driving, just say you're in Texas and you're going to New York, it's a possibility you may encounter a different type of weather. Whether it's rain, depending on the season, Like you're gonna experience different climates. So it's the same thing in life where God is taking us. We're going to experience certain seasons of our lives, certain storms of our lives, certain climates of our lives, highs and lows. Like it's just what it is because we're not here to stay. He's taking us somewhere, right? So if you are in a season of your life where it's really difficult, it's challenging, and it seems like it's too much, well, that's a season of your life that you're in. God has placed you there, but he's taking you somewhere. So be encouraged because you're not there to stay. What you can't do is, whether you're in a good state or a bad state, you can't get comfortable and kick your feet up while you're there. He's taking you somewhere. So embrace wherever you are in the process and just continue to cling and walk with him, and where he's taking you, you will get there. But you have to get up every single day and keep going. Follow his lead, okay? But back on with the jobs, sometimes we have to change our mindset and our perspective of the job that we're currently in, or wherever we are, because God placed us there. Since we're talking about jobs, I'm gonna focus on that real quick. When we change our perspective of where we are and understand that God placed us there, then we can then ask the question, God, why here? Because I don't know if. So ask yourself, how many jobs did you apply for before you got a call back from the job that you are at? I always ask this question to kind of like to help the perspective. If you apply for multiple jobs, but this one called, it's a reason why this one called. I would even stretch far enough to say, gotta be careful out here in these streets, man. These people drive crazy. I would go to a length of saying, you may think it's about your experience, you may think it's about your skill, you may think it's about your education. That has very little to do or nothing to do with why God placed you there, unless that skill, that education, or that experience, he can use that where you are. But it has everything to do with his purpose. It has nothing to do with your money. If it has if it have something to do with your money, it is based on what he needs you to do in terms of impacting his kingdom. It's not just about you. So when it comes down to where God places us, he don't need our skills. He don't need our experience. He don't need our education. He don't need any of that, because remember, as I've said to you before, God give us the ability to do all that he created us for. All that he has called and purposed us to do, he has given us all that we need. Now we have to cultivate it. We have to mature it. We have to hone it in terms of our gifts and stuff like that. But it is him that makes us sufficient. It's not education. It's not skill. It's not our experience. It's him. It's in him that we are qualified to do what we do every single day. It has nothing to do with our experience. It has nothing to do with education. It has nothing to do with our skill set. He just uses that as we go over time. But that's just to add to what he placed inside of us, to make what he has created us to do more effective. using the skills, maybe the education, maybe the experience. But he don't need any of that. He's enough. So we won't think that's why my job called me, because of my experience. That's why my job called me, because of my education. That's why my job called me, because of the years of the skills that I have. No, God placed you there. And because you have that, then, makes sense? But no, when it comes down to your purpose, you're going to love everything. I'm gonna say when it comes to your purpose, you're gonna love what God has purposed you to do. Now, back with the job situation, for some of us, if we change our mindset and our perspective to view our jobs differently, we have to understand when it comes down to the things that we complain about at our jobs, that we hate, that we identify, and in us complaining about what we hate about the job, we find ourselves saying, if they did this, if they did that, if they tried this, if they tried that. You ever read the story of Joseph in the Bible? When Pharaoh summoned him, when he sent for him, he had dreams, but God gave Joseph the gift of interpretation. So the interpretation comes from God, and he acknowledged that, and he told him what the dream meant: 7 years of abundance, 7 years of famine. He told him that's a problem. That's what we do at our job. We talk about the problem. We highlight the problem. We highlight the problem, and then what he said, have someone to put, I forget the percentage, or I forget how much he said to put to the side in the 7 years abundance. So when the 7 years of famine come, then basically you'll be good. And when the land is affected by the famine, they will come and buy from you. So guess what happened? So it's the same thing for us. When we look at the problems that our jobs have, and we say, if they do this, if they do that, perhaps that's the solution to the problem that they have at your job. So if we take into consideration and know that where we are isn't based on education, all those things, it's based on 100%, this is where God placed me for whatever the reason is. Perhaps he placed us there because we're the solution. We supposed to provide a solution to the problem that we see and complain about. But if we change our mindset and our perspective of that job that we hate because of the stuff that we have to deal with, that innately is the problem that they have as a company, as a culture, as a system, as an operation, you are the solution. I've had conversation with guys. Well, what's the point of saying that? They ain't gonna do nothing about it. It's that right there. You know what I mean? It's that right there. But you know what though? Maybe it's that job for you to get that training. You identify the problem, and see, the thing is, nothing. We have to learn to speak their language. We have to learn when we present something to them. Yeah, we present an idea, but if we can collect data, if we can do our research, this is what's happening because of this. If you did this, that will alleviate that. It's a mindset and a perspective change and shift, right? When you do that, you provide that to them. They look at it, and if it's going to help them increase, if it them expand, if it's going to solve a problem, you have the attention. You have their attention. You see the problem, you know the solution. Now you have to put it in a form to where they can understand it. Because when it comes down to jobs, managers, well, when it comes down to the job, like they just big on data. They big on proof, results. They're big on systems. It's a big operation. So, I mean, it makes sense, right? And even when it comes down to the culture, changing the culture, first of all, you have to be the example. You can't be up in that joint complaining about everything, always got problems and issues and stuff like that. They're not going to listen to you because they like, you part of the problem. But if you change that and show that you are the example, you set the example, you place the standard. That you heighten your standard, and you demonstrate that, and they always notice you have a really positive attitude. Like you're very helpful, you're willing to serve, like just all those like good character traits. When you present something to them, because they know where your heart is, they know that you're not a problem. You don't hang around in circles. Who's always acting a fool? Who's always causing problems? Like you kind of like you carry yourself in a respectable manner. Like just all these different things they see, whether they acknowledge you or not. And believe it or not, they have favor with you. They have favor with you, right? When you present something to them, they will listen. But if you're a part of the problem, they like, okay, that's a good idea, and brush you. Because how you gonna tell me how to fix something, and you part of the broken system, you part of the broken culture, the negative culture. You get what I'm saying? So when you change your perspective and mindset, understanding that God placed you where you are for a reason, like even if you come up with a solution to the problem and they don't use it, no problem, no big deal. Don't get bent out of shape. God just used that job to build up your training ability, or to train you for the next season that he's going to move you, the next placement that he's going to take you to. And what you did at the previous job, guess what? The next job, they can use that. They can use that system. They can use that idea that you came, and guess what? That you presented, and guess what that looks like for you? Promotion, raise. But it wasn't anything that you did out of like you didn't stretch yourself thin. Based on what God has placed inside of you, you also have a radar. You can see certain things other people can't see, or you can see what other people can see, but they don't see a solution like you do. Why? Because God didn't call them to be there to provide that solution. He chose you to provide the solution. But you have to change your mindset and your perspective and your attitude and accept the responsibility, and then really hone in and do what you are there to do. Not complain, not catch attitude. So when you create that shift, that job will look differently to you. You'll no longer look at that job as a check. You'll then look at it as your assignment, and that hits different. That will change everything for you. So where before that job didn't look like it was the one, you'll know God has placed you there, and whatever he placed you there to do, you have just tapped into it. You have just tapped into it. You get what does that make sense? I wish I could dive in deeper, but I can't. I just made it to work. I gotta hop out and hop in my tractor real quick, and I gotta go and meet. I gotta go and meet my driver. He'll be there at 11:30. Does that make sense, what I just shared with you? So as I always say, take what I just shared with you, take that to God and ask him to give you clarity. Let him know, ask him why that job that you're at, and give you the right mindset and perspective to have, so you can do the work that he has um, assigned to you to do while you at your job, and start there. I don't know if you want me to pick this up later or what, but I really have to learn. I pray that God be with you guys tonight. Don't get into any trouble. Be at peace. Get you some rest, and know that God loves you. Like he said, there is nothing that can separate us from the love of God. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, but just know there's nothing. The thing is, when we choose not to live for him, we take away from us experiencing the love of God. His love is already there, right? In our everyday life, the mercy he gives us, his love is already there, but we've detached ourselves from his love. Although his love is still with us, we've detached ourselves from his love, and now we don't experience his love because we're not choosing him, because we put everything else and everybody else before him. Like, repent, turn away from that, and let him know, like, you have my attention now. You have my attention, Lord, and just ask him to fill your life up with him and show you the way that he wants you to go. And it's a process. Be patient, walk with him, and have his way with you. And until we meet again, yes, God is good. He's great. He's awesome. Um, and share this out with 7 people, and I'll talk with you guys later. And man, just know I love y'all. And hey, we're going somewhere with this ministry. I don't know where God is taking it. I'm a part of the journey like you guys, but he have a really good plan for us. So just be well, and I love you guys. Stay blessed. Peace.